Hello everyone. I hope we all are alive today. Not just existing, but becoming who we really want to become. I'm Shobhit Munot, and on this particular channel, we are going to discuss about personality and everything related to personality. And I fundamentally believe that our personality is the greatest asset we can own. It is not something which one person can buy with any sort of wealth, or it can be stolen by any person who is cunning enough. It is something a person builds layer by layer, brick by brick, putting the efforts. So, if you are someone who is willing to work on their personality, I can assure you that it is something nobody can steal from you. If you work on it, it is that particular asset which is going to stay with you till the very last of your life. So, I'll give you a little bit of background of myself and what I have done so far so you'll get an idea and why you should even bother listening to me. I was fortunate enough to have an early international exposure when I was in 8th standard. So, going to a country with a lot of people from a town of limited number of people. So, till that point of view, the thought process were very limited, not even knowing what all things are possible in this world. But that small experience changed the way how I used to think about life at that particular age, and that inculcated the idea that I want to grow as a person so that I can survive in that mass pool of people. Because personality is not something which you realize when you are initially in your familiar grounds. It is something which you understand the moment you step out from that familiar ground to an unfamiliar ground. It can be you moving to college from your school, it can be you moving to a different city for work purpose, or just transiting in a new phase of your life. And when I transited in my life, when I moved from Rajasthan to Mumbai, that was the first time I realized the importance of personality. Because when I was in school, there was limited number of people, like I said. But coming to Mumbai, it was altogether a different thing. People from all sorts of parts were here. So it was a national competitive environment. Everyone wants to perform better, everyone wants to have the eyes on them. So, how do you stand out? Your personality is the only thing which made sure that you will stand out or not. And when I say personality, is not only about how you dress up or how you carry yourself in a way that is related to materialistic things. It is something which comes genuine to you. You don't have to pretend or you don't have to perform all the time. It is who you are, and who you are depends on the experiences and the conversations you have accumulated so far. By the way, I'm going to walk because I like to think while walking. It is one of the good. So after learning and giving a lot of time on personality, I discovered few things which can be developed by a person who is willing to work on their personality. There are certain things if the person works on, they can have a balanced personality in their own fashion. The first thing comes communication. The second things come confidence, then courage, emotional intelligence, presence, self-expression, and the ability to combine it all together to present it in a one singular fashion. Now you can understand this thing on a spectrum, that not one thing is connected to other, that you might be a good communicator but you are not good at self-awareness, you're not aware, but you might be good in reading a script in your head and not be aware of the moment. So that doesn't how a good personality should work on. A good personality, the reason why I say good, because I think, where are we trying to go when we say personality. Strong, that is a better word. We can use strong personality. So let's say when a strong personality enters, we all know because I think if we are thinking on personality, there might be a time in our life where we have experienced the presence of a personality which made an impact. It can be in a positive or a negative way, but it has made an impact. I'll tell you my experience. So when I moved to UK for my higher education, in those initial phases, like in the initial year, when I was trying to look for work, around me who found work, like part-time work, were presenting themselves in a very different fashion. Like they have done it, like they have found it. So their personality while entering a room was very different from people who were still struggling. And that was like that person has figured out a way that he has or she has presented themselves to a group of audience which were in the decision making and impressed them with their personality, and that's why they are in a situation where they are now. So what are the things which are required for a person to present themselves in front of any decision maker group wherever it is required and get what they want? So let's say if a person is playing a character, like that person is playing a character of confidence in a setting where they are comfortable, their known setting. Don't you think it is ironic that personality is one of the most important human skills, and yet it is not being taught anywhere? It is not something which is being taught in our schools, colleges, or some of the professional areas where we are going to work or where we work. But it is hence the most important thing. So why? Because people don't want people to be authentic enough. They want people who just listen to them and obeys their decisions. That is one way to keep things simple. So why personality matters? In a nutshell, it matters for the kind of human connections we are going to form, for the kind of relationships we are going to build, for the kind of way we are going to present ourselves in this real world. Presentation, how authentic you are. But to be authentic, you have to feel authentic, and that feeling comes within. Personality is an internal game which reflects our outer world. If we play that game well enough internally, then we have the capability to present it in a way we like to the outer world, and that's what makes any being different from the other. We're living in a world where we are sharing the planet with 8 billion people, and with the rising AI era, where I was talking to few people where they are discussing their emotions with AI platforms while discussing ideas with other human. And I thought to myself that people now need to understand their own feeling by talking to a AI, and that was surprising to me. That thing is going to get increased day by day, and if that's the case, soon you will be in a pool of people who share collective ideas. There is no individual thought processing behind it, because the data set of a AI chatbot which is giving you ideas can give ideas to the other person as well. And if it is the shared pool, it is going to give you the same results. So yeah, coming back. So this is the first video I'm trying to create on a long format, and I am figuring out what sort of value I am going to add to your time, which is the most important thing, your time and my time. So if there is anything you feel like you want to understand on personality and you think you want to work on, put down that thing in the comment section and let me go through it and figure out how do we create a balance between learning, because learning is the most important and most beautiful thing. And the beauty of learning is that if you want to learn about anything, there is no right or there is no wrong way. There's always a way, and you can choose your own way. Even when it comes to personality, you can choose to develop your personality in your own way. If you like something, work on it. If you don't like something, it's fine. If you are afraid of the fear of judgment on what people are going to think, so there's one thing which you should realize, that from 3 generations now, neither you nor that person who you think is judging you will be existing. And if that's the case, why not give it a shot? Why not try to build a personality which reflects your inner value in this cruel real world and present it in the best possible manner? There's no harm in trying, and there's a saying, right? Try and try until you get success. Even if you fail, you'll improve from where you were yesterday. So that's the idea. That's the idea behind me giving my time on personality, because I was speaking with young people, and the conversation I had with them, they might be wiser in the sense that they have more information, but the character to hold themselves is something they have still not figured out how to develop. And from that thought itself, I thought this is something I would like to explore and like to give my time. So yes, I am here to talk about personality and learn on personality. Even I am working on my personality. There are certain standards I have set for myself, and you can set for yourself too. You can work along in this journey, and if you're a person who knows it, or who has discovered their personality, feel free to skip it, because you might waste your time. But if you are someone who is deliberately working and trying to work on their own self and just looking a practice ground, okay, yes, think of this place as a practice ground. If you practice, then you perform. What mistake people make is that wherever they practice, they try to perform over there, and wherever they have to perform, they practice over there. So it has to be have the right balance. This channel can be a practice ground, and the real world is where you perform, isn't it? So yeah, that was all from me in the first video itself, and yeah,